Welcome to this month's episode of Chamber TV. Special guest Jenny Morgan is representing Leadership Frederick County to discuss corporate philanthropy and LFC's Month of Caring. Tiffany Ahalt, a member of the Tourism Council of Frederick County, is also joining us to talk about seasonal tourism in Frederick. Our fall season continues with episode 23, hosted by Lauren Hagan and Joe Porpiglia.
Thank you. Welcome to episode 23. I'm Lauren Hagan here with my co-host Joe Porpiglia.
Well, welcome back. I see we're back at the Chamber Studios. No more running around Frederick County. We're here now doing the show.
We'll be here till next summer.
A little bit of a Halloween, I thought we were supposed to.
We do, actually.
Oh, okay.
We'd first of all like to thank A Bloom for our fantastic
They
costumes.
don't pay me enough.
We'll work on that. So if you're watching online, you've already found our YouTube channel, and we're posting on our Tumblr blog. You can see photos, videos, and updates online at frederickchamber.tv.
Are we ready to move to Positively Frederick?
We absolutely are.
All right. Well, anyone can submit a story or about something good that happened in Frederick County on the Chamber's community blog.
And this month we're featuring a post submitted by Jean Wright, who is also our cinematographer of the day. And she serves on the board of directors for the Downtown Frederick Partnership.
Now, this is serious, so I'm going to take this off because Jean submitted a post acknowledging the hard work and dedication of the partnership's executive director, Kara Norman.
She did. I actually happen to be an intern at the partnership, and I know that Kara is a very hardworking and dedicated to downtown. She's celebrating 10-year anniversary with the partnership. Oh. So thank you, Kara, for all that you do to beautify and better historic downtown Frederick. Let's give her a round of applause.
Yeah. And you can read the full story by visiting positivelyfrederick.org. Now remember, if something good happens to you in Frederick County, you can submit a photo, a quick note to us, and then we can put it on that community blog.
Good, we're looking forward to your posts. And it's time again for our Frederick Factoid for those of you who like to impress your friends at networking events with local trivia. This month's factoid, I wanted to share a little something that I brought for Joe from last season, episode 11. Joe, I found this in my office when Jessica Hibbard left, and I thought, what is this t-shirt that Jessica left behind in my office? So apparently there's a little story about the Snallygaster that was on episode 11. Can you fill me in?
Well, absolutely. Well, last year, I've got to tell you, they were downplaying and saying nasty things about the Snallygaster. So our top group of investigators went out and did some work, and we found out a lot of what we said wasn't true. However, I did find out something kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, and our fact finders right here, President Theodore Roosevelt actually was going to postpone a trip to Africa on a safari to hunt the Snallygaster. Now, the good news is he still went on the trip. The bad news is the Snallygaster was never caught. So I don't want to worry anybody, but still roaming the hills around Frederick.
It's almost as scary as my spider. That's very interesting. But that was last season 11's factoid. And for this one, we have another Frederick legend for you.
Well, Frederick is rumored to be one of the most haunted cities in all of Maryland. As a matter of fact, a book, The Spirits of Frederick, which was written by Alice Weinberg, mentions that Hood College's Broadbeck Hall is home to a lot of creepy happenings. Broadbeck is the oldest building on campus and was actually built upon the land of an old saloon on the outskirts of the city.
I'm actually a Hood alum myself, and I've heard some creepy stories from the music majors about orbs and apparitions. Alice Weinberg's book mentions that music students often hear giggling and stomping of boots up the stairs.
There's no truth. They cannot hear my boots on those stairs. Anyway, that's this month's factoid. If you'd like more information on the haunted sites in Frederick, check out the links online at frederickchamber.tv.
Stay tuned for our special guest, Jenny Morgan, who will chat with us about corporate philanthropy and Leadership Frederick Cares.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 23 of Chamber TV. Refreshments for our live studio audience were provided by Roy Rogers.
Well, welcome back. Our first guest is a graduate of Leadership Frederick's County class of 2012.
The month of October has been christened Leadership Frederick Cares Month, and with the season of giving coming up, we thought we should talk about the importance of community involvement and corporate philanthropy.
In addition to volunteering on their events committee, Jenny Morgan is the clinical manager for corporate occupational health solutions in Frederick. Please join us in welcoming Jenny.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us
Hi,
today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start out by talking about Leadership Frederick Cares.
Okay.
So can you tell me a little bit about the program?
Leadership Frederick Cares is what we're talking about as a month of caring for graduates of Leadership Frederick and also the current class. A lot of the alumni volunteer already, and it's also to encourage further volunteering.
Great.
Well, what are a few specific ways that local professionals can get involved in the Frederick area?
There's lots of different ways. You can do it as a group with your company. You can do it by yourself. They can volunteer you down at the rescue mission, the soup kitchen. If you are in a civic organization, it's as easy as that. You can become a member of Rotary, Lions Club, Kiwanis, and then they all do outreach from there as well.
Great. And why do you feel it's important for corporate volunteerism?
Corporate volunteerism is a way to increase employee engagement. Employees like to feel good about themselves. They want to feel good about where they work. Mm-hmm. And organizations are finding that when employees are they allow them to give back, that they're happier with their jobs and they're happier with their companies, and they actually have longer retention times. It really helps boost employee morale. Well, it serves a good purpose, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, where can people, if they want more information about this, about how to get involved in Frederick, where should they go look?
I would go to the computer, go to a website. You can go to Frederick County Government, to their website, and on the left-hand side of the page, you can look and see Volunteer Frederick. You can click on it. It gives you Fire and Rescue, the Department of Aging, the library. You can also just Google Volunteer Frederick County. There's a ton of organizations that need help. Frederick Memorial Hospital, the ARC of Frederick County. I don't know if I already said that one, but there's just a whole list out there on the internet.
There's also the Frederick Community Calendar, I think, might be a good one, too, because they normally have upcoming events, so there's usually a lot of volunteer opportunities with those kind of things. Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
If you want to find out more information about volunteering in Frederick, you can find the links we discussed on Chamber TV blog. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, ready to move to one of my favorite areas, member-to-member discounts.
Absolutely.
Well, one great benefit of being a member of the Chamber is exclusive member-to-member discounts. And not only really are you saving money for yourself, but you're also supporting local businesses.
Mm-hmm. And this month, we have specials from Hillcrest Beer, Wine, and Spirits and Arachnid Works.
Hillcrest Beer, Wine, and Spirits. Yes, prepare for the holidays by mixing and matching a case of wine at Hillcrest Beer, Wine, and Spirits. And as a Chamber member, you'll actually get 15% off the price of that case.
Something to think about, definitely. And we've also got a coupon from Arachnid Works. If you give them a call, you can set up a free website optimization report.
Great.
It's a great
deal. You can find these discounts and many more at the frederickchamber.org website. Click on that red button, member-to-member coupons. And remember, as an owner, you're free to print out some of these, put them on your employees' pay stubs. But again, it's a win-win. The employees get some benefit with you being a member of the Chamber, and the local businesses get more business.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with our next special guest. Don't change the channel or the Snally guest.
They can't change the channel.
Are you interested in supporting Chamber TV? Each month, an episode sponsor will be recognized during this commercial break. To learn more about promoting your company on Chamber TV, call 301-662-0745.
My drink is losing. We've got to finish. I've got to get to this. All right, well, welcome back. Thanks to Frederick's location right near Baltimore, D.C., Annapolis, Gettysburg, we have a lot of opportunity and plenty of tourists can pass through this area.
Yes, there are plenty of ways to get involved in Frederick as a tourist. And there's also, it's a great way to boost your marketing efforts by kind of catering to these tourists that we've got coming in and out. There's plenty of exciting events coming up, which is why Tiffany Ahalt, who's a member of the Tourism Council of Frederick County, will be joining us. So please join me in welcoming Tiffany.
Well, thank you for joining us, Tiffany.
Thank you, Frederick.
Can you tell us some of the events and activities that we'll be having around town for our tourists? And obviously, these tourists are potential customers for all our businesses.
Most definitely. Well, certainly Halloween is in the air, so there are a lot of great events within downtown Frederick as well as Frederick County that sort of capture the essence of this, the Halloween spirit, I guess you could say. And in a variety of events that appeal to all interests and ages. And so certainly we're talking about ghosts and spirit today. There are multiple tours in downtown Frederick that sort of focus on that. And majority of them set the stage with the history, and then they go into the folklore, legend, and ghosts. And certainly Snallygaster is one that's talked about, particularly at Schifferstadt Museum. But also some of the sites that are typically not open to the public year-round have special events at this time of the year. And a good example of that is the Catoctin Furnace, where they have what's called Spirits of the Furnace. And certainly places like Rose Hill Manor have certain programs that tailor just to the Halloween season as well. So lots and lots of opportunities. And many of these are annual events, so people will come not only locally, but certainly around the Maryland state to participate in these every year.
That's great. And how can a business use seasonal tourism opportunities to market their business?
Well, there's a couple great examples I have, and one is with specifically the walking tour in downtown Frederick. They have partnered with Brewers Alley to allow them to put a 10% coupon on the back of the ticket, and so patrons can take the tour and then they can go to Brewers Alley and utilize the 10% discount. And that way it's nice because brewers can track that, and then also it's just nice. Usually most people probably culminate dinner or dining with an activity, and in that case probably 75% of people are from outside the area, with many people vacationing in D.C. And coming to Frederick specifically for that activity. And then the second is it's funny you mentioned Snallygaster, is incorporate sort of some of the folklore and legend into your retail or even dining. So have a drink or a dessert named after Snallygaster. And there's another great book that's written by local resident Nancy Whitmore called Ghosts and Legends of Frederick County. And she talks about some specifics in there, particularly Snallygaster. So be creative, look through that book and come up with some creative things. And a good example is how folks tied the commemoration of the Civil War into some of their dining specials. So you could certainly do the same thing with some of the seasonal opportunities.
It's no wonder. We've actually sold about 30,000 of those T-shirts, by the way, the Snallygaster. So you might not be aware. That's one of the original.
They're handcrafted.
But yes. And
what is not to love?
Yeah. Lynn paints every one. It's amazing that she does it. Well, obviously, a lot of us will have guests during this time, too, but they'll become tourists. What 3 things would you recommend that they have to help them navigate through the county?
Well, certainly Frederick County sets the bar in terms of quality and amount of materials provided to tourists. And so I always recommend certainly to stop by the Frederick Visitor Center on East Street. And then there you can certainly pick up materials, whether it be a visitor guide or the tear-off maps. And then certainly in the age of technology, there are many social media outlets, so certainly websites, not only through Tourism of Frederick, but certainly Downtown Frederick Partnership, who have a very extensive calendar of events listings, as well as just information on places that you can go for additional information. So probably too much information, it can be overwhelming, but also the advantage of the visitor center is you have a live person to speak with as well.
And that is a beautiful visitor center. We actually did one of our shows there.
It is, yes.
Oh, did we? Very interesting. Well, great. Thank you for joining us, Tiffany. And if you're looking for more information about seasonal tourism in Frederick, you can find the links we discussed on the Chamber TV blog. We're going to roll you on out.
Well, believe it or not, enough. That wraps up episode 23 of Chamber TV.
And as always, there's a lot going on at the Chamber, so make sure you check the calendar on our website, frederickchamber.org, to see all of the upcoming events.
And we've posted links to all the topics we've discussed today on frederickchamber.tv.
Thanks for tuning in to our 23rd episode.
This month's show is made possible by the following volunteers and donors.
Sean Morrissey is our announcer.
Gene Wright is our cinematographer.
Michael Cooper is our production assistant, and catering for our live studio audience was provided by Roy Rogers. Let's give them a round of applause.
Well, I want to thank all of you that joined us in person today, and I know you're enjoying this fabulous lunch. For those others, you might think about that, and I want to thank those of you that are watching online.
You can join us in our live studio audience when we record our next episode, Friday, November 16th at 1 p.m. Our special guests will include Brandon Butler from Greenville Consulting Group and Christine Van Bloom from the Kitchen Studio Cooking. We hope you'll join us, but between now and then, we'll see you around town and online at frederickchamber.tv.